it's the 18 threes. So where did you see the defensive breakdowns that led to that number?
Well, we weren't sharp on the defensive end of the floor really all night. They're a very good team too, but we just weren't. Both the start of both halves, we were slow and slow to recover, slow to help, slow to recover both. And in the handful of times we did contest, they still made them. But their starters versus our starters tonight, it was kind of men against boys. I mean, just look at the plus minuses of both of those the starters. So our second unit got us back into it in the first half. We needed to come out in the third quarter and get off to a good start again, and we did, and fell behind, and that was it.
You touched on it before the game. LeBron scored 15, but his 13 assists led to 34 points and 31 points.
Yeah, right. He's if not the best player in the world, he's one of the best players in the world. So you're not, as I said, I believe this morning, you're not looking to shut the guy down or anything, but in the times when we did get a pretty good initial effort, we just didn't get multiple efforts, and then even almost half their shots were threes, but then they drove as well in certain times when we tried to make a move and we just couldn't get help there, and we didn't play a very good game.
Early in the third quarter, Scott, what was your rationale for keeping Fournier on LeBron? Did you consider putting a bigger guy on LeBron?
Yeah, we sort of felt like we might be able to weather. When we came in at halftime and Kevin had 27 and LeBron had 5, and we were talking about switching Vooch onto Love, and everything would kind of filter down from there. We did that, but I felt like even if Kevin got 50 and LeBron only got 10, we might have a chance. But as I said, whoever we put on LeBron tonight, I mean, he either went by us or he just looked over us and made passes to other people.
The starts to games and the starts to the second half. How frustrating is that now? It continues to be a topic for your group, and how do they get through that? How do they get that message?
Well, it's time to change the lineup. That's pretty much the reality. The reality we're going to have to face here in the next 48 hours before we play again. That lineup has just been too much of this, and we've got to see if we can find something else that works.
Do you go power forward? Is that a consideration? The way Channing and Nicholson shot the ball?
Pretty much everything's a consideration.
Mm-hmm. With Ilford, what are you seeing with his shot? Had another tough night shooting the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's very frustrated. I mean, they literally weren't guarding him. And so I mean that has to be a frustrating thing on a nightly basis to go through when teams are playing so far off of you and stuff, and you're unable to capitalize on it. So it's got to be very frustrating. I feel for him.
To what degree do you feel like tonight the offense dictated your team's intensity on the defensive end?
Oh, I'm not sure. It's not like we were walking in mud early in the game on defense or anything, but if you're going to beat a team like that, you've got to be really ratcheted up. You have to be exceptional. Just a mediocre defensive team game is not going to cut it. And pretty much that's our goal was to limit Kevin's touches in the post, and they came down and threw it right into him in the post. We didn't have great effort denying the ball. Same with LeBron. You're not going to deny him the ball all over the floor, but the goal is when he gives it up, not let him get it back. They do it right back to him many, many times, and so we just we've had games where we've been really sluggish. This was not that, but it wasn't the intensity that we needed to be a caliber team like that.
Has Nicholson been shooting the ball like this in practice, or was it just kind of a hunch to go with him?
No, he's been lately when I put him in games, he's been productive. We've got the balance of our roster. Many guys can play that position. So unfortunately for Andrew, early in the season, he wasn't getting many opportunities. Now he is, and he's playing well. So he's a guy that deserves to be out there for the minutes he's getting right now.
Were you pleased with Oladipo's drives to the hoop? Early on, he was finishing well. Are those the kinds of opportunities you want him to diagnose and then take advantage of?
Yeah, absolutely. But you have to. We're searching for that too. So I mean, that's a good question for pro guards to make pro plays around the rim for sure. But we're also searching for combinations that will do what's expected of them out there. On a consistent type basis, and so that's what we're searching for.
Everybody good? Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.